These 4 fruits improve circulation and intimacy after 60. They told you aging meant slowing down, that it was normal to feel tired all the time, to lose that spark in the bedroom, to trade closeness for distance. And for a while, maybe you believed it. But I'm here to tell you, they were wrong. Dead wrong. I'm Dr. Jonathan Prescott. I've spent over 35 years walking alongside older adults as a urologist and men's health physician. I've had late-night calls from grandfathers who just wanted to feel like themselves again. I've seen couples rediscover each other after decades. And I've witnessed something most doctors forget to mention. Your body isn't done. No matter what the calendar says, your circulation still wants to flow. Your heart still wants to feel. And your body, it still remembers what intimacy feels like. If only we stop silencing it. Now here's the kicker. You don't need magic pills. You don't need to mortgage the house on hormone therapy. Sometimes, all it takes is fruit. Yeah, fruit. 4 humble, everyday fruits that have shown remarkable power to restore circulation, balance hormones, and revive that intimate part of life we're so quick to give up on. These fruits aren't just tasty, they're backed by serious research. They work with your body, not against it. They boost blood flow, support testosterone and estrogen levels, and reignite warmth, energy, and yes, your desire to connect. And I don't care if you're 62 or 84. I've seen it happen with my own patients. Men and women who thought that chapter was closed, only to find out their story had just started anew. In just a moment, I'll walk you through each of these fruits, the science behind them, and how you can use them starting today. But before we jump in, do yourself a favor, hit that subscribe button and tap the little bell. These aren't your average health tips. This channel is for folks like you who want real answers delivered with respect and a little humor, because let's face it, we've earned the right to laugh a bit while we age. And if you're already with me, I want to hear from you. Type 1 in the comments if you're ready to take back your vitality. Type 0 if you're still skeptical. Hey, I get it. I used to be too. Let's get into it. These 4 fruits might be small, but what they do for your circulation and closeness after 60, that's anything but small. Let's start with the first, a fruit that may already be waiting in your fridge, quietly holding the key to your comeback. Red grapes, the flow restorer. Let me take you back to a time in my practice when I thought the only way to improve blood flow in older adults was through prescriptions. Maybe a little L-arginine, maybe a blue pill here and there. You know the one. But then something changed. I started really listening to my patients. Veterans in their 70s, grandmothers with spark in their eyes, couples who'd been together since the Beatles were on the charts. And there was this quiet, consistent pattern. Those who aged well, who stayed active, connected, intimate, were eating red grapes. Not in fancy smoothies, just plain, in a bowl, on the porch, watching the birds. That got my attention. So I dug in, and guess what? Red grapes are packed with resveratrol, a powerful antioxidant that works like WD-40 for your blood vessels. It relaxes them, helps them expand, and gets more oxygen-rich blood flowing through your body. Not just to your heart or brain, but to the places where age intends to whisper, "Not tonight." Let's get real. After 60, a lot of folks notice colder feet, slower arousal, less sensitivity, and more fatigue. But it's not always about hormones. Sometimes it's about blood flow. And red grapes, they're circulation's best friend. For men, this means stronger, more dependable erections, because resveratrol ramps up nitric oxide, which is your body's natural vasodilator. It's the same mechanism those little pills target, but grapes do it gently, daily, without side effects or awkward pharmacy trips. For women, red grapes help improve blood flow to the pelvic region, easing dryness, increasing sensitivity, and bringing back the kind of warmth that makes intimacy feel emotionally safe, not just physically possible. That's the part nobody talks about enough. I had a couple, Jim and Ellie, both in their mid-70s, who started adding a bowl of red grapes to their evening routine. No big health overhaul, just grapes. 2 months later, Jim told me, "Doc, we feel 20 years younger." Ellie just smiled and said, "We're holding hands again, a lot." I've seen this too many times to chalk it up to coincidence. The science is there. The stories are real. Here's the beauty of it. Red grapes don't force your body. They invite it, and your body remembers. Trust me on this. So what can you do? Start simple. A handful of red grapes in the afternoon, or toss them into your salad. Better yet, sit down with your partner and split a bowl and talk. That connection, the one so many think is lost, it's closer than you think. And we're only just beginning, because the next fruit isn't just good for blood flow. It's a fierce little warrior for your kidneys too. Let's talk about cranberries.
Cranberries are like tiny bodyguards for your kidneys and urinary tract. Now let me confess something. For a long time, I didn't give cranberries the respect they deserve. I thought of them the same way most folks do, some tart little things swimming in sugar sauce at Thanksgiving, more decoration than medicine. Boy, was I wrong. Over the years, as I sat down with patient after patient, folks in their late 60s, 70s, and even 80s who were still energetic, still in love, still active, cranberries kept popping up. Not in massive quantities, just part of their routine. And that got me curious. What I found changed the way I practice medicine. Cranberries are like tiny bodyguards for your kidneys and urinary tract. You see, as we age, kidney function quietly declines. You might not feel it, but your circulation slows. Toxins build up. Inflammation brews under the surface. And that takes a toll on the body, especially when it comes to intimacy. For men, impaired kidney function means lower testosterone, poorer blood flow, and a direct hit to erection strength and stamina. For women, it often means discomfort, sensitivity, and less confidence in the bedroom. But cranberries, they fight back. They're rich in proanthocyanidins, which sounds like a mouthful, but what they do is simple. They prevent bacteria from sticking to the walls of your urinary tract, reduce inflammation, and help keep the plumbing flowing freely. That means fewer infections, less irritation, and better blood vessel health in the areas that matter most for closeness and comfort. I once had a patient, Linda, 71, who came to me with recurrent urinary discomfort. She'd been avoiding intimacy altogether. We didn't reach for antibiotics. We started with unsweetened cranberry juice in the morning and a small serving of dried cranberries in her lunch. Within 6 weeks, she told me, "I'm sleeping through the night again, and my husband's noticed I'm smiling more." That's the kind of feedback that makes me believe in the small things. Because when you reduce irritation, connection becomes easier. And that, my friend, is where healing really begins. Let me be clear, cranberries aren't just for preventing infections. They help stabilize blood pressure, support healthy nitric oxide levels, and improve circulation from the kidneys all the way to your heart and, yes, your pelvic region. That's good news for both pleasure and performance. So, what should you do? You don't need to guzzle cranberry cocktails loaded with sugar. Just start adding whole cranberries to your salads. Mix dried ones into oatmeal, or go for a daily glass of unsweetened cranberry juice. Just a few ounces will do. It's a small act of care with big potential, not just for your urinary tract, but for your energy, your confidence, and your connection. And if you're thinking, okay, this is starting to make sense, well, just wait, because the next fruit we're about to talk about doesn't just protect your body, it awakens it. Let's talk about papaya, your sunshine in fruit form, and a powerful ally for energy and hormone health.
Papaya, the energy awakener. You ever bite into something and feel like it's sunshine in your mouth? That's papaya. But don't let that sweet, mellow taste fool you. This fruit isn't just a tropical treat. It's a biological spark plug for older adults who feel like their engine's been running on fumes. Let me tell you about a man named Walter, 73, former high school principal, sharp as a tack, kind as they come, but worn out. I eat clean, I walk every day, but I still feel drained, he told me. And behind that frustration, the real heartbreak. Intimacy with his wife had become more memory than moment. We started small. Just 1 cup of papaya blended into Greek yogurt in the morning. No miracle drugs, no hormone patches, just fruit. And within a few weeks, Walter came back with a twinkle in his eye and a spring in his step. "Doc," he said, "I don't know what's in that thing, but I feel like me again." That's not magic, that's science. Papaya is loaded with vitamins A, C, and E, which help lower inflammation, improve skin and tissue health, and support your immune system. But what makes papaya a standout for men over 60 is its effect on testosterone production and blood flow. The enzymes in papaya, particularly papain, aid digestion and reduce bloating, freeing up your body's resources to focus on circulation and hormone regulation. That means better flexibility in blood vessels, more oxygen delivery to muscles and organs, and yes, stronger, more sustainable erections that feel natural, not forced. But gentlemen, this isn't just about us. For women, papaya helps balance estrogen levels, improves circulation to the pelvic region, and relieves dryness and discomfort. I've had women tell me they felt alive again, not because they were chasing youth, but because they were finally comfortable in their own bodies. There's also a bonus. Papaya supports your adrenal glands, those little stress regulators perched on your kidneys. And when your cortisol levels settle down, so does everything else. Your mood, your sleep, your intimacy. That's what I love about this fruit. It doesn't shout, it doesn't spike your system. It just shows up, quietly, consistently, and does the work. So how do you bring it into your life? Keep it simple. Buy 1 ripe papaya each week. Scoop it into your breakfast, toss it into a smoothie, or eat it with a spoon like a treat from nature herself. Don't overthink it, just enjoy it. Because what papaya gives you isn't just energy, it's dignity, vitality, and the kind of internal balance that allows your body to say, "I remember how to feel good again." And if that's not a reason to reach for fruit instead of another bottle of pills, I don't know what is. But don't go anywhere yet, because the final fruit on our list, it might just be the most powerful of all. It's rich, red, and romantic, and it's helped more of my patients rediscover true intimacy than anything else I've recommended. Let's talk cherries. Cherries, the intimacy booster. There's something kind of poetic about cherries in there. They don't demand your attention, they invite it. You don't rush through a bowl of cherries, you savor them. And for many of my patients, cherries have helped them do exactly that, not just with food, but with each other. Let me tell you a story I'll never forget. Marvin and Joanne, married 43 years. They came to see me not because something was broken, but because something was missing. Marvin said, "Doc, I feel like my body and I aren't on speaking terms anymore." Joanne nodded and added softly, "We still love each other deeply, but intimacy feels like a memory." They weren't looking for a miracle, just a bridge back to what they shared. So I handed them a grocery list. At the top, cherries. What most people don't know is that cherries are one of the most powerful vascular health fruits on Earth. They're rich in anthocyanins, those deep red pigments that do way more than look pretty. They help reduce inflammation, improve arterial flexibility, and increase nitric oxide, the holy grail of blood flow. More nitric oxide means better circulation, not just to your brain or heart, but to the areas of your body responsible for arousal, sensitivity, and deep physical connection. For older men, cherries help support stronger, more dependable erections without the spikes and crashes of synthetic drugs. For older women, they support smoother pelvic fluid blood flow, helping ease dryness and discomfort while enhancing responsiveness and pleasure. But here's what really makes cherries stand out. They don't just work on your body, they soothe your nervous system too. Cherries are one of the few natural sources of melatonin, which helps regulate your sleep cycle. And when you sleep better, your stress goes down, your hormones stabilize, your mood improves, you're more present. And that, my friend, is where real intimacy lives, in presence. 2 months after our first visit, Marvin and Joanne came back holding hands and grinning like high school sweethearts. Marvin leaned in and said, "The cherries worked." Joanne just winked. It's moments like those that remind me why I do this work. Cherries are gentle healers. They don't crash through your system like a hammer. They whisper to your blood vessels. They nudge your hormones, and they tell your body, hey, it's okay to open back up. So what's the best way to enjoy them? Fresh when they're in season, frozen or dried when they're not. Eat them as an evening snack, add them to Greek yogurt, or drink a small glass of tart cherry juice before bed to help calm your system and restore connection from the inside out. Because sometimes it's not about turning back the clock. It's about tuning back into what really matters. Touch, closeness, trust, and the quiet joy of still being able to share all of that deeply, fully, even now. Now that you know the 4 fruits, you're probably thinking, okay, Doc, I'm convinced, but how do I actually start this without turning it into some big production? I got you covered. Let's make it simple, realistic, and real life ready.
Here's how to start. Today, if you've made it this far, let me tell you something. You're not just curious, you're Ray. Maybe something in you has been whispering, I miss the old spark. Maybe you've been living with fatigue, disconnect, or that nagging feeling that your best days might be behind you. Well, I'm here to remind you they're not. Because here's the beautiful truth I've seen in thousands of patients across the years. The body wants to heal. The heart wants to reconnect. And when we give it what it needs, gently, daily, consistently, it responds. We're not talking about flipping your life upside down. No crash diets, no spending hundreds on supplements with names you can't pronounce. We're talking about fruit. Real, whole, healing fruit. So where do you start? Start small. Start with 1. Pick the fruit that speaks to you most. Maybe it's red grapes in the afternoon while you read the paper. Maybe it's a handful of dried cranberries tossed into your salad. Maybe it's slicing open a ripe papaya with breakfast, or sipping tart cherry juice before bed. You don't need to do all 4 at once. This isn't a sprint. It's a gentle, nourishing walk forward. Consistency beats intensity every time. Why? Because your body is listening. And when you feed it signals of life, vitality, and connection, it starts sending those signals right back to you. You'll begin to notice the whispers, warmer hands and feet, sharper clarity when you wake up, deeper, more restful sleep, and yes, the quiet return of desire, comfort, and closeness. These aren't miracles. They're responses to care. And you deserve that care. Not later, not someday, now. I want to share this too. Over the past 30 years, I've seen patients in their 60s, 70s, and even 80s rediscover intimacy. I've seen couples find each other again. I've seen widowers find peace in their own skin. And I've seen women learn to love their bodies, not despite their age, but because of it. So when you look at your fridge or make your next grocery list, I want you to see more than ingredients. I want you to see tools. Tools to restore circulation, to protect your kidneys, to boost hormones gently, and to bring back that sense of connection, emotionally and physically. Let today be the day you choose something simple, something powerful. Let today be the day you say, I'm not done feeling good in this body. You've got the information, you've got the tools, and now you've got the choice. And guess what? You won't be doing this alone. I'll be right here, cheering you on, walking beside you, and reminding you that every day you nourish yourself with intention is a day you reclaim a little more life.
This is just the beginning. Sometimes in life, we don't even realize we've started settling for less. Less energy, less connection, less joy in the little things. And we tell ourselves, well, I guess that's just how it is after a certain age. But let me say this loud and clear from one human being to another. That is not your truth. That is not your limit. That is not your ending. You are not too old. You are not broken. And you have not missed your chance. What we've talked about today may seem simple. 4 fruits. That's it, right? But the truth is, they're symbolic of something much deeper. They're about choosing to nourish, to say yes to circulation, yes to closeness, yes to the quiet power still alive in your body. Because your body, it's carried you through decades of life, through long nights, hard work, heartbreak, joy, and everything in between. And now, when you finally have time to enjoy the most precious things, connection, touch, rest, you deserve to feel supported, not limited. Red grapes, cranberries, papaya, cherries, these are not just foods, they're invitations. Invitations to reawaken what's still inside you, to restore not just physical function, but the emotional richness that comes with feeling alive and worthy of pleasure, peace, and presence. And here's where you come in. If this message spoke to you, even in the smallest way, I want to hear it. Drop a 1 in the comments if you felt something shift today. If you're still unsure, skeptical, or just thinking it over, that's okay too. Leave a 0 and let's keep the conversation going. This is a safe space for honest dialogue. No shame, no pressure, no judgment. Better yet, share in the comments one simple step you're going to take, one fruit you'll add, one habit you'll try, one thing you'll do to say, I'm still in this. And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button and tap the bell icon, because this isn't the end of the conversation, it's just the beginning. This channel is here to serve you, support you, and walk with you as you age, not in fear, but in freedom. You've spent a lifetime showing up for others.
Now it's time to show up for yourself. Your story is still being written. And if I've learned anything from my decades as a physician, it's this: some of the most beautiful chapters come later in the book. Thank you for being here. Thank you for choosing to care for yourself. And thank you for trusting me to be part of your journey. Until next time, stay curious, stay connected, and stay kind to your body. I'll see you in the comments.